Hello, everybody. My name is RoboPirate Foxy, and welcome back. So, today we will be doing the third episode in the Best Ways to Get series, where we'll be doing gold. And gold was honestly a really good choice for the third one, because gold is kind of this nothing burger material. I like gold. It's a really cool, nice looking block, and it's also quite useful if you do piglin bartering. But it's not the days anymore where every world you go onto, someone's built a gold farm because it was the best EXP farm. That's just not how it is anymore. So it's kind of in this weird limbo state because outside of like powered rails and piglin bartering, you're not really going to need a lot of gold. So it feels kind of good to just not make it the first one and not make it the last one. So yeah, that's it. So you guys know the rules. I will be doing 3 different methods today. One farm, one manual, just straight up mining it, and then one little wild card method, 1 hour in each, just to see what does the best. And of course, I do want to say we are going for the best methods. So when we get onto the farm and the wild card method today, they may look a little big and a little intimidating, but that's kind of the point. So let's get right into it with the first method being 1 hour of just mining. Now, you may have been thinking we would be headed to a normal mine, but no, no, no. Today, we're going to the best biome to get gold in, which is a mesa biome. So, yeah, if you didn't know, mesa biomes actually spawn gold at every level. I just gotta find a cave around here. But it's really just, mesas are just the best for gold mining. It's a small mesa, though. That might be an issue. Hopefully it gets bigger over here. Other than that, though, mesas are just the best biome for mining gold. They have a ton of it. They look really cool. Terracotta is an awesome block, by the way. No one mentions that enough. I love terracotta. Here we are. But other than that, we're also going to want to try to get very deep while we're in the mesa biome, because the lower down you go, the better. But here you are. You can already, I can't even mine it yet because I haven't started the timer, but you can already see lots and lots of gold, and we're like Y68. Other than that, I'm going to want to try to quickly and swiftly make my way down to Y negative 16-ish, just because this mesa biome's a little small, and while I do want to spice it up a little, we really should just be regular cave mining for the base idea. So, with that said, though, I'm about to start a timer, and we're about to get going. So yeah, we will see how good the gold gets getting. Yippee. Okay, timer starts now. Okay, so I'm going to come here and talk over this, because honestly, this was maybe the most boring mining trip of the 3 I've done so far. Nothing wrong with it, but one, it's just not very exciting, at least to me, mining gold. Like, when I'm mining iron, I'm like, oh, hey, I get a lot of iron, you get a really big vein, and that'll give you a little boost to keep going. Or when you're mining, like, for copper, I mean, it was kind of boring too, but copper, at least you got a lot of other stuff. And I will say, in fact, I got really lucky with other things besides gold, but that's just, once I got out of the mesa caves, there stopped being a lot of gold. It was great when I was in the mesa. I should have looked for a bigger biome, but I wanted to start in the mesa and slowly progress out, like you would in a regular mine anyway. I just wanted to give myself a little boost, because I knew this would be an issue. Gold is just not as fun to get. The veins aren't big, so you don't get that little boost, and it's not interesting enough of a material to go, ooh, look, I got two things, ooh. Other than that, it was just boring. I'll wait till I show you the results, but gold almost got outbeaten by other things I mined. And technically, once I got to fortune, it did. Which is interesting. I mean, I expected that. You'll see why. It's not that crazy. But gold is in this really weird spot where you have to mine at a certain depth, and you have to really stick to that, because the high quantities of gold are in a very thin spot comparatively to other materials. So, I don't remember the exact number off the top of my head. I'm putting it on screen right now. But it's just, I don't know, it's just boring. It's just a boring thing to mine. Maybe copper was cool to me when I did it because it was like new and exciting, because copper is still relatively new to me, I guess. But it's just, iron was cool because I get big veins. Copper was interesting because it was new. And then now you have gold, which is so boring to mine. You don't get a lot of it. You get a lot, but you don't get as much as you should. So I'm just sitting here doing that. But anyway, let's just end it up. Okay, so here we are back at home, and I've organized it by just organize this. So this is what we get pre-fortune, which this is really good. I'm very happy gold still barely, by the way. I collected a little too much iron, but gold still very much squeaked out as the one we got the most of, which was very nice. And then followed by iron, then redstone, then diamonds. Actually, no, I got more diamonds than redstone, technically. So more then diamonds, then redstone, then lapis, then coal, then copper. And this is just all the extra junk we collected. Blocks, some stuff from mobs. This stuff isn't that important, but it is good to note that you will get stuff like this from mining. So especially if you're looking like Deep Slate, you can maybe do tunnel mining or strip mining, and that might give you a bit more, but obviously that's not the most effective method anymore. So now I'm going to go change this in fortune, and then we'll see what we got. Okay, so here it is with afterward. Gold, luckily, well, gold didn't dominate, but lapis and redstone always punch out a ton, so I'm not too upset at that. But got a lot of diamonds. Got very lucky on the diamonds. It turned like 2.5 stacks into like 5, so that's pretty good. Iron was a little disappointing for how much we had, but oh well. But anyway, that's still there's over 9 stacks of gold by a long shot, which is very nice. And this is probably the best extra haul I've had so far. Like lots of redstone, lots of iron, lots of diamonds, lots of lapis, lots of well, I could have gotten more coal and raw copper, but one those really aren't as important as the rest of the resources. So this is a very good haul, and that's the first method. It's probably one of the better ones, maybe even the best we've had so far. So let's get right on, though, to method 2. So this is what I was talking about, things getting a little intimidating, because as we fly up on this, you will see it's a little big. I assumed I was a little closer. I don't really know what to say in this part. Come on, show up. Okay, here we are. So this may look a little intimidating, but it's really not that bad. This is a gold farm by DashPum4. I probably don't need to say the number, but I'm gonna. But this really isn't that bad. Yeah, there's a little bit of portal mechanics. Let me show you. So it's like a classic gold farm. It uses turtle eggs still to shove the being through. But then they go pushed out into this thing, which is just a weird beacon that goes all the way up, 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 up. Yeah, that's a lot of pigment. They then come over here and then get launched into this portal. And because they're mobs, just like creative mode, they get sent right through. So now I gotta struggle my way back in there. No. I am going to be completely honest. The most complicated part about this farm, though, is this storage system over here. It is just... It does a lot of weird stuff because it uses auto-crafters to craft everything into gold blocks. It's a lot more complicated than it needs to be. And then I have a little chest over here for zombie piglin heads because of an add-on I have. That's not as important. But this is it. It all gets funneled right into here, which is why it looks so complicated. Just because there's a lot going on. So, today, though, I will be taking out what's already in there, and then we will be starting our new journey. And yeah, so let me just get this thing all set up to go, and then I'll, well, start the farm. So yippee. So I explained this farm very thoroughly before I started, but I did just want to mention one more time, it's by DashPum4, and also I should mention that it uses a sword, so you get the looting effect, so it's a little better. So that's it, let's go right to what we got. Okay, so when I unpause, the timer will be done, so I have to stop there. Oh god, I forgot about that. Ugh. As you can see, things are still dropping, so I want to go collect what's mine relatively quickly. Yeah, I thought it would be a little too quick for one full shulker box. It was only an hour. But let's go see what we got. So, in one shulker box, we've gotten, that's a lot. This is one shulker box, 1 hour worth of AFKing. Now, I will say, that is all you get. I mean, you could get rotten flesh and some golden swords, but I have those sorted out, and you get a ton. But still, this is a lot of gold for also what is relatively an easy amount of doing nothing. That is incredible. So, just to put it into perspective, I basically got more in gold blocks than I did everything else combined. Like, if I crafted all these into blocks, it wouldn't even go that far. I would genuinely remove, like, actually, I'm gonna do that now real quick, actually. Look. We only have maybe 2 rows worth of, maybe a row completely in stacks worth of stuff. And then I got this much for an hour. That is an insane amount of stuff for the second method. That's just, oof. Like, even counting all this, again, only maybe lets you finish the row. That is, mwah. And we still got all these right there. So, that is the gold farm. Okay, so just to clarify a bit, the gold farm is a really good farm, clearly, as I'm showing in the comparison. But it is an insane farm to build. Like, it's really hard to build without building supplementary farms. You need to build a magma farm, or you need to mine all that magma yourself. It's a lot of magma. It's definitely doable, but it's a lot. Same thing for the obsidian. It's a lot of obsidian to mine. Sure, you'll probably have end pillars by the time you want to build this farm, but the only good farm is either a withered end platform farm or a piglin barter for obsidian. So you have to mine that, and that adds a lot of time. It's a bit of a time sink is what I'm trying to say, but it's really not that complicated. The worst thing is the portal mechanics and the massive storage system that it needs. But other than that, it is well worth it for the amount you get, clearly. So, now on to the last method. For the next method, we have to go a little bit further. So, let's get on our way. And I didn't already messed up going straight. Oh god, not this again. Oh my god. Okay, and well, here's the final method. Now, I will say, this farm is, well, it may look complicated, because let me show you the real meat and potatoes of it. Which I will not be showing the overworld side, because it's literally just a bridge. But this farm may look a little complicated, but it's really not that bad. I actually should be careful. I don't want any of those dogs to get hit. But it's really not that bad of a farm. So, get over here. Okay, so as you can see, here's the farm. Owie. So I still have no noise on, because I just turn it off again when I get here. But as you can see the farm, this is it. It basically uses piglins wanting to get turtle eggs, and wither skeletons being mostly scared of these dogs to work. And then blazes will naturally wander in. But you mainly want this farm for wither skeletons. But of course, as I mentioned, piglins do get used in this farm. Piglins are a big part of what can actually be crafted down. And one of these is a gold sorter. And this is probably the only other farm that's worth building that one may build. Now, this one, I really do think that we might actually have a shulker of something when we're done. I didn't believe it too hard for the other ones, but for this, I could totally see it happening. So, yeah. It's basically the same farm as before, might I say. Maybe I'll do a little voiceover while we're waiting for the farm to go. But it's basically the exact same farm as before. You come up here. There is no armor stand to hit. You actually just hit the mobs, like so. You want to be at an angle so you hit everything. Also, fill up your inventory again, or else it'll be very much cluttered. That was on me. So, to take my chest real quick and fill this up. And then, yeah. And then you just swing and hit them. So, I will see you all in an hour. I'll probably cut a few seconds since I killed a few for this bit to explain. Okay, so I also think I explained the farm fine, but this is Ian Exos 4's Simple Fortress Farm. So, I do want to mention both Dashpums 4 and Ian Exos 4's farm will be in the description below. And other than that, let's get on to the results. Okay, with about, well, timer's up. That's an amazing timer sound phone. So, with that, though, this farm is done, and I really need to quickly get down here before anything extra flows through. Kind of wish I was smart enough to have an off switch. Okay, hello. So we are back, and this is the final results on the fortress farm, and wow, it is surprisingly worse than I thought it would be. Now, I know there is clearly something you're supposed to be using this for, and I was measuring it in its gold output, which is not the case. But man, it's still less than I thought it would be. I really thought we'd get more gold than we did while mining, and we barely didn't, but we did get less gold from the fortress farm, which is kind of annoying. So, other than that, obviously everything else it gave you is really good. I need to check my footage because there's no way we got a shulker box of blaze rods that quickly. That's insane. This is still really good. That is luckily an even amount of coal, which is nice. It's a lot of bone blocks, which is really nice because that's an issue, that's an issue I've been having in my survival world. And then all the coal blocks is really nice, it's a good fuel source, and obviously a stack of wither skeleton skulls is probably more than enough for just little old me. So that's nice. But looking at what we get from the other two, I mean, pure gold wise, this is in last place. But on the other hand, this gives you so much stuff that it's kind of like worth it to take a little less gold. It obviously can't be first place because, like, come on, you got more gold mining. But if you need these things, this is really good. Like, this is really, really good. But then also, this gave... this is actually hard, because this gave quite a wide variety of resources. Like, I'm gonna be honest, diamonds aren't that useful in a single-player experience. Not this many, you know? But lapis will be, redstone will be, the iron will be, the copper, not really that little amount of copper. I also got a decent amount of coal from this. I mean, if you're just mining, which you can do at any stage in the game, you might not get as much as that, but you will get quite close. It's also luck-wise, of course. But, honestly, the only thing I don't really want to announce that first, though, but no way I spin it can I put this above third. I really like this. But for the amount of effort the farm takes, may it not be that bad. The worst part about the fortress farm is you have to find a proper wither fortress. So the gold farm, I think, is our clear winner. And to give it out of a 10, I'm going to give it like a 9 out of 10. It's pretty big, which is its one issue. Gold farms used to not have to be as big, but this was obviously built to get to gold, not to get levels like they used to be before. So it's too big to be a 10 out of 10, but it's definitely a 9 out of 10. And then this is a 5 out of 10. What am I kidding myself? This is a 5 out of 10, and then just because this kind of has to be the middle, I'm putting this as like 5.5. These are basically tied. Because look at all that. That's so much good stuff, but not a lot of gold. So much good stuff, but way less gold than I should have gotten. So, yeah. That's it. And thank you all so much for watching. If you could please like and subscribe for the next time, because we're actually going to be getting onto some quite interesting materials next time I do this in a video. Because none of the other minerals that I had left, like emeralds, diamonds, and netherites, you can really have a farm for. Well, emeralds you kind of can, but... yeah. But either way, it'll be quite interesting. So, if you like my content, if you like this kind of video, please like and subscribe. And if you want to check out some more just survival Minecraft stuff, especially like this base, very beautiful base we're standing in right now, go check out my survival Let's Play. And, yeah, thank you all so much for watching. Again, like and subscribe, plugging it again, doing it all the time. And